Hello and welcome to the Pantheon of the Geeks. You join us for a Malifaux Monday, and this week we've got the Malifaux Crossroads 7 box. Also, a Through the Breach production as well. So the Malifaux 2nd edition symbol there, Through the Breach, because this is a story encounter for both. It's also an adventure box.
Ooh.
And it's got 7 very cool models in it. If you've not seen the Crossroads 7 at all before, there's one for each of the factions, and they also make a crew on their own, and obviously they can also be used in Through the Breach. So it's quite a cool box. It's quite a thick box as well. And here's the other side, and you see the reflection of us in there. Hello. There are the 7 models, and one is each named after each of the 7 sins. And we have greed, lust, pride, envy, sloth, wrath, and gluttony. I think Wrath is the lead singer. So we'll be splitting this box between the 2 of us to paint.
Yes.
So Claire will be painting these 3. So she gets guitar, violin, and another guitar, which I'm envious of. Ooh.
Oh, ba-boom-ch.
And I'll be getting envy, sloth, and gluttony, because those are our factions. And we've split the other one faction between us, so we'll have to fight over Wrath.
Ooh.
See which one of us gets more angry.
Feel my wrath.
Okay. Maybe Claire will be painting it. Right, so as it says on the back, we have 7 mercenary models, 3 Malifaux story encounters, and 1 Through the Breach adventure.
Ooh.
So, let's get it opened and see what's actually inside the box.
So this was one of the boxes we actually got for Black Friday.
It was indeed.
And
we've seen a lot of them.
Back in November.
Yeah. We didn't get it in November.
We ordered it. We ordered it in November. We didn't get it
came in January.
Yeah, it did actually come in January. Beginning of January it came.
And then the computer blew up, so we're a bit behind with unboxing stuff, but we thought we'd just do it over time.
Yeah.
Let's get this open.
Nice.
So we have... that's rather annoying noise. And there we go, we have a piece of foam. Underneath the foam, we have a book. It's quite a nice quality book actually. It's not like the one from the University of Martalis, it's a lot thicker. We also have a
thank you
card from Weird.
Oh, thank you, Weird.
With their how to get the instructions to build these things. Need help, usually. So we'll have a look at the book. Maybe at the end we'll have a look at the book. We'll do the models now. In fact, I might, because I did a separate video on University of Martalis. We have the cards here, and might look at them at the end as well actually, so stay tuned for them. So this bit's about the models, obviously. And there we have the sprue that Envy is on. There's the huge organ that he's playing. And then we have Greed, it's down here. And we have Wrath in the middle. It's quite a large sprue as well. And then on this one, we have Sloth there. We have Gluttony, Pride, and Lust is down here. So where shall we start? These are bases.
I don't know which one to say. Which one's calling to you more?
I don't know. They all look very, very cool. So the Resurrectionist one's kind of my primary faction. So maybe Sloth.
Sloth?
Also, it's pretty easy to put together, does Sloth. Maybe we should start with a more difficult one. Maybe we should start with the lead singer actually. We'll start with Wrath.
Wrath?
He's right there.
Okay, I'll have to find the...
So you find the instructions?
Yeah, I found the instructions for Gluttony, Lust, Pride, Greed and Sloth. The one that you haven't said.
Brilliant. Right, so what we'll do, we will get the Wrath pieces off the sprue, get them out, then we shall start putting that one together. Okay, so these are all the parts for Wrath. There's a lot of them. We've got these bits here which kind of make up the scenic base part that he stood on, which is all the...
Looks like there's smoke swirling around
him. Smoke turns into these wraiths, would you say?
I'd say so,
sort
yeah.
of musical Wrath wraiths.
They're like whispering, one of them's whispering to him.
Yeah, whispering the lyrics to him probably. So there's 3 of those guys and they seem to be like surrounding him. and then he's in the middle, sort of like going ah, and sort of like screaming, singing, whatever he's doing. But there is his body. So what we'll do, we shall start by sticking him and his legs together. That's the easiest place to start, and we'll be back when I've done that. So there is Wrath. He's basically complete. That is him. The rest of it is the stuff that's going on around him, behind him. So we'll move him out of the way a minute. And there he is. And then we have this base part. This is where the wraiths sort of connect. And he's going to be stood in front of this. So this is all going on sort of around and behind him. We have these three parts. As you can see there, that one, this little clip there. And that seems to go in here. Seems to go on there. Like that. Just need to take a little bit of flash off there to do that. And this bit will be going on there by the looks of it. Trying to figure out which way around this goes. I need to clean these bits up though, and then we're back to put these three bits together, and back in a moment. Okay, so now I've cleaned them up, they go together perfectly. So those two parts go on there. Then this larger part fits in there, like that. So you can see there's like a little cutout bit there, and that's where that bit goes there. So I'm going to stick that bit on, and then we'll move on to putting these wraiths together. Okay, so those are the three parts together. Cool. So I'm actually going to start by doing the middle wraith, and he consists of 4 pieces, kind of on his own. He's got a back bit missing, which is this bit, and it goes like that. And then he's got his 2 arms there and there, and he seems to fit in to this little space here. He seems to go in there. There's a square cut out bit there, and there's like a little notch there. It's not quite the same shape, but it does fit in like that. So I'm going to do this one first because he's kind of in the middle, and then we'll go on to the end one. So I'm going to stick all those parts together, and I'm back hopefully when he's done. If there's no other problems other than what I've shown you so far, I'll be back when he's done. Okay, so this is quite difficult to stick together, and what I've done, I've tacked Wraith to the base, Wrath and Wraith, and what you can see there is he's got one arm sort of on his shoulder, sort of like the back of his neck sort of on his shoulder, and the other hand is sort of like covering his mouth, so he's whispering into his ear. So that's how that guy goes, and if you see Wraith just fits into this little gap there where his leg is, where the sort of like mist or whatever it is sort of clawing around the back. So he fits in that position by the looks of it. So the next guy I'm going to do is the Wraith on this side, which I'm not sure which one he is. I think he's actually this one, which consists of a back part of the body, a front part of the body, which we got together like that, and these 2 arms. And he's sort of moving away from him if you look at the picture of him. So we'll get these bits together, and I'll show you what it looks like in the whole model. So this bit, it feels a little bit of an awkward fit. I'm not sure whether it's going on right or not, but there is like a little hole, and if you see there, I did actually glue that bit's fallen out. There's like a little peg bit that goes in there. I'm trying to get that bit to fit in there, and it needs to be so he's like pointing away and coming away from this side. So I'm going to try and get this together a bit better, and I'll be back when he's on here. So that's kind of what I meant. He's kind of moving down and away. He's moving sort of in that direction, and then this other arm sort of covering the sort of like pectorals of Wrath there. So I don't know where he's going off to beat someone up for him or what. So that's the second Wraith there. So the third one consists of 3 parts, which is this one, the arm, and the little bit that goes on the back. So it goes on the back there, and the other arm just slots in there. It's quite a good fit. And this bit, which I need to clean up, There's a little bit of flash there. Should just slot in around behind, so that he's sort of behind him. So we shall do that, and I'll put him in place, and hopefully when I come back he'll be finished. Okay, so I just wanted to show you how this guy fits on. So I've taken him off the blue tack base, and he just fits into this little area here. So he's actually behind Wrath, sorry, and then Wrath fits in there like that. So I'm going to leave these two guys separate so that they can be painted separately, because there's a lot going on behind him, so I won't be able to get to otherwise. So I'm going to leave these two bits separate, but I'm going to put them onto the base, and we'll see them together at the end with the rest of the models. But for now, we shall move on to the next model in the crew, and we'll do one of Claire's models. So which one do you want to do? Do you want to do Greed, Lust or Pride?
We'll do Lust.
Lust? Claire fancies Lust. We'll get Lust. So here is Lust on her sprue. Consists of 6 parts. Should be a bit more straightforward to put together than Wrath anyway. So we'll get these parts off the sprue, and we'll back in the model. Okay, so here are the 6 parts. Got the whole body as one part there. Is that a hair? What's going on there?
Yeah, it's a head.
It's a head.
Connects to the back of her face kind of thing.
Right.
It's like a little peg.
Yeah. Oops. So does that go on there?
Yeah, the bow.
Yep.
Yeah, goes into that
So
bit.
that fits on there like that. Actually fits in quite well.
Yeah.
I still won't glue it obviously, but those 2 bits go in there, and that just leaves her with the violin, and she's holding that with that hand, and she's playing it with this one. So it should be pretty straightforward to put these bits together. So we'll get it together, and if there's any problems I will stop and I'll let you know. It's a little bit fiddly because it's quite small, but other than that, went together just pretty easy. Obviously the fiddle, violin, whichever one it is, goes underneath her chin and she'll hold onto it, and then the I can't remember what you call them.
What?
This bit.
The bow.
Is it a bow?
Yeah.
It is a bow.
Yeah.
I was going to say a bow, I just didn't want to sound like an idiot. And I did anyway, so there we go. So that's her. Pretty easy to put together. That's Lust.
Was it not fiddly?
Oh dear. Okay, so let's move on. Shall we do one of the ones that can be mine?
Yeah, which one do you want to do?
Let's go with Gluttony.
Gluttony.
Almost the opposite of the previous one.
Okay, sure.
So this is Gluttony. There he is. This is the Gremlin faction dude. So he's one of mine, obviously. And he's got like a snake going around his neck. Pretty weird.
It looks like he should be in something like Live and Let Die.
He does a bit, doesn't he? Like sort of, he's not Baron Sodomy, he's sort of in the background doing some of the music.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely what we're going for here. So he consists of, is that 6 parts?
Yeah, 6 ones.
So it's pretty straightforward to put together, but we'll get the pieces off the sprue, because these 2 parts are like body parts, and then we'll be back in a moment. Okay, so here we go. Those 2 parts go on there, so that's the body part. So. And then we have, it's like bongo drum, and if you've noticed, there's actually little puppets on there.
Oh yeah.
The Neverborn, they're like the Neverborn ones, aren't they?
They are, yeah.
Like Zoradia's puppets. So they go on there, and there's a little bit there, sort of cut out a bit, and that sort of goes there, and it connects to his hand. So he's got it dangling between his legs. And then we have the head, which is there, and this bit, is that actually a stool that he's sat on?
No, it's the other part of the bongo drum.
It's the other part of the bongo drum.
So he's wrapped his legs.
So
wrapped
yeah,
around it.
he's kind of like that, and that goes underneath there and fits onto that square bit. So it is part of the bongo drum, and he's kind of leaning on it. So if you put it together like that, you can see he's kind of riding the bongo drum. It sounds like a euphemism for something, doesn't it?
Moving on swiftly.
Moving on swiftly, and then his other hand just goes on up there, where he's going to come down and thwack it. So, which is a technical term we use, us musicians, to thwack the bongo drum. Not a euphemism for something. Right, so let's get this guide together before I say anything stupid or start singing the Live and Let Die song. So if there's any issues while I'm putting him together, I'll be back on. So yeah, there he is, riding the bongo. As you can see there. So I've not got a scenic bass for these guys yet, but when we get something suitable, we'll put them on the basses and stuff. For now, that is him. Pretty straightforward to put together, just put together. As I said, there were no issues. Cool, look forward to painting him.
Awesome.
So who's next?
I think we'll do Greed next.
Greed?
Yeah, he's one of the guild.
I think that one's Pride. Greed there. Okay, so Greed is a sprue. Which consists of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts. Again, the other side. So let's get these bits off the sprue and then we'll get the model together. Okay, so we have the main part of the body there. We have leg, which will go there, like that. The head comes with a face part, which is there. You can see how it's quite fiddly. And the hair, so that's a 2-part bit. And then we have the guitar bit, which seems to sort of fit in this section here, by the looks of it, somehow, like that. So it's across the body. And then the other arm is kind of at the back holding the guitar. So I'm just going to tidy this up a bit and then I'm going to stick it together. And if there's any problems, I'll be back when I'm done. And here we go. I keep thinking these models in this crew can't get any cooler, and then everyone I put together, I'm like, that is awesome.
That does look a cool stance though, that. It's really funky stance.
Doing a proper power chord there.
Yeah. Guitar hero.
Yeah. Guitar hero all the way. Cool. So that's Greed. She is amazing. We'll see her again at the end with the rest of the guys. Let's move on to what would appear to be the bass player, and that is Sloth, the resurrectionist of the crew. So look at the sprue that he's on, a bit more detail. So there he is. This probably looks like might be the easiest, fingers crossed, model to put together because there's like 4 parts to him. So we'll get those parts off. There's like a shoulder bit there, which goes there, then his head and the actual sort of bass spade guitar that he's got. So let's get those parts off, as I said, and we'll have a look. Okay, so those are the 4 parts. So like we thought, that's the shoulder joint, which will go on there. So we've glued that on, the head will go in that gap it's created there, and finally the bass guitar shovel thing will go on there, and that's thumb is the part that sticks onto his hand. So we'll stick him together. So there is Sloth so far up to this point. This is the 5th one, by far the easiest to put together, straight together, no problems. Nothing fiddly on him as well, they're all big parts. There he is, done. That is a really cool Resurrectionist model. And there he is. So we'll see him again at the end with the rest of the guys. And we should now move on to Claire's last model from the crew.
She's Pride.
Which is Pride. So here is the sprue.
And he's for the outcasts.
He's indeed.
He looks very outcasty actually. He's like your old country and western singer.
It's kind of like country and western with a bit of rocker thrown in, and then a little bit like a Civil War veteran also thrown in there. Pretty cool looking. That guitar is awesome. Just have a look at that. That's one funky guitar. Right, so we shall get these parts off, and then we shall be back to stick him together. Here he is, Pride, and he's got 6 parts as well. So we have the main body part, which connected everything together, and we have his leg, which will fit into that little gap there. There's like a little pouch he's got on. Is it a pouch? Yeah. Oh, it's either that or a gun holster. That fits on there. And then we have the other part of his body and the other part of his head, which all fits together like that, making this part of his hat. His head fits in there, so I presume you'd have to put that bit on first.
Yeah, I think so.
When you're putting him together to make that fit in. Well, it does just about fit in. I'll probably do all that bit together as his head comes flying off. And then that just leaves the guitar bit. Need to clean that bit up. The guitar bit and his other arm there, which fits onto that hand there. So I shall put him together. If there's any problems, I will stop and let you know. So here's Pride finished. It's pretty straightforward to put together in the end, and he's pretty damn awesome.
He is actually.
What a stance!
That is one cool stance.
You're a rocker or what?
Yeah.
There we go. So we'll move on to the last of Crossroads 7, which is Envy. He's obviously got the biggest of the sprues. There he is. He's the largest of the models in the crew. So I said these are all the parts. So we'll get all these parts off and ready to put together, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so here are all the parts for Envy. There's quite a lot of them, but we're going to start with the actual mechanism, or the organ, and that seems to have these parts here. So we have the organ parts, and they fit onto the main body next to the seat, and where the sheet music goes in there. So that one goes on that side. It fits in quite snugly, as you can see, and that one goes on the other side. And there's quite a lot of sort of like flash to take off these. Sort of mould line, should I say. I keep calling it flash, it's from the old days. So those bits go on there, like that, and they're quite well wedged in actually. To give them a bit more push, might not need to glue those in. I'll see if they come out easy or not, and if they all glue them back in. But those two bits go on there. And then we have these side pieces, which how do these bits go on? Oh, they go underneath, don't they? It's kind of like a bolt in a way.
It looks like a belt actually.
It's kind of shaped like a bolt. So that bit should sit on there, by the looks of it. Fit into there. So yeah, it does like that. And the other bit will go on there. They're fitting in quite easily together, but what I want to do, I want to glue them for strength, so I'll not stick that in straight like that. But you can see how those bits go on. So I'm going to make sure all these bits are on properly before we move on, and then I'll be back in a second. So there are those parts. I've glued them all together. I took the organ bits off and put them in again so they wouldn't fall out or anything. So we shall stick the guns together. So you get like these two mini guns that come with it. I haven't seen such a dangerous organ since the Sisters of Battle. So those just go together like that. And I said there's two of them, there's the other two parts are there. So I'm going to stick them together, and then once they're together, they go on these front bits there. See those little holes? That's where those little pegs fit in. So I'm going to get them together and get them on the front. So there we go. Those are the miniguns on, slightly different angles, and just worth noting when you're sticking the two parts of the miniguns together, the little grooves in there are different shapes for each minigun, so you can't get the wrong one on the wrong one there. So we shall do the driver next, I think. So the parts for him, we've got some legs, we've got the body there. With his head, he's wearing a bowler hat, which almost looks like a tin hat, because he's got these like weird sort of goggly glasses. Now he's got the big sort of moustache, so he almost looks like some sort of army major. and then we have the arms. So it should be pretty easy to put together. This hand's actually holding on to something, one of the controls. So if you see there's like a little circular control on that side, and there's one missing on that side. That's because he's holding on to it. It's obviously the pitch and stuff for the organ. So there's a little clip, a little bobble clip thing there. What would you call it?
Little peg.
Little peg. That's the word I was looking for. Which goes into that slot there. And he doesn't really have any feet because they're sort of underneath the organ. So we'll stick that on. We'll stick all the parts together. So it's best just to stick him in and build him up like that. So we're back once he's done. So there he is, hunched forward, operating the machinery. So the final bit is the legs. So we have the front legs, which are the larger of the legs, and they just fit into these slots here. So let's have a look. There we go. So that one's going to go on that. That one's going to go on the other side, and then we have these pegs there, or slots, both different, so you can't get them the wrong way around. So that one's going to go on there, like that. So let me stick those bits on, and I'll be back once that's set, and that'll be the end of that model, won't it? So I'll be back and I'll show you the completed model. So there he is, finished. And that is a cool model. I really like that model.
Yeah.
It was really easy to put together, actually. That was the one I was dreading putting together.
Because it was such a big sprue, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah. He doesn't actually fit on the base, though.
Oh well.
That's nothing new.
No.
So
It kind of does, it's just he's hanging off the front.
yeah, you need to have him on a scenic base, really. He's just a little bit too big for that base, again. Okay, so let's have a look at the whole band, if you call them that, together. So there we are, they're all the models from the box set, all 7 of them. They're some amazing models.
They are actually really dynamic.
Yeah, I really like them.
Yeah, definitely.
Which one's your favourite model, would you say?
Which one's my favourite? I'm actually thinking that guy.
Pride.
I think it's just such a cool stance, to be fair.
To be fair, I've been impressed by them all. Even Sloth, who was like the easiest to put together. Favourite model's Envy, because it's mechanical.
Yeah.
It's arcanist and it looks cool. And it was well intense, sort of the way he's playing that organ. But Wrath is very cool as well.
There's a lot going on there.
I didn't realise quite how much was going on when you see the pictures of him. But he is very cool. But they're all cool. It's hard to pick. They're such a cool sort of like crew to use together.
They are actually.
But they're all individual models as well, so you can use them in your own factions. Cool. So let's have a quick look at the cards. We'll have a look at. We'll have a really quick look. We'll just show you. So if you want to pause the video at any point, please do and have a proper read. I haven't had a look at them myself yet, really, so I'm not really sure. I can't really make a commentary at this point, so just so you can have a look, and then we'll move on to the book. So here is Wrath. He is 8 points. He's got 5 cash. He can lead the Crossroads 7. Those are his rules. Quickly, I'll let you read them rather than reading them out. That last one, lead singer, just said he can be hired to lead the crew. There we go. And his rules on the back. So 2 0 actions. I did have a quick look at that actually, and you can choose whether to do life drain to heal yourself or empty rage to do more damage, based on these 2 abilities there. So you're basing it on your triggers. So it's quite tactical. It's quite good. So we shall move on to the next one. Is just Gluttony. There you go, hard to wound. So please feel free to pause this if you want to read any more in depth. Next one on here is Envy. And those are his rules there. greed. So we've got pride here. Next up we have sloth. Becomes bored. Cool. And finally lust. And then the final card we get with it is the Zero Soulstone Deal at Crossroads. And there you go. So that is what the crew is made up of, and obviously those are the individual cards that you can use with your factions or even together. So let's have a look at the book. So here we are, the very cool book, Pride on the front. Let's get this open. So, Crossroads 7, Malifaux 2nd edition, and from the breech. Very well presented, having a proper book. It's nicer than the University of Transmortars, even though there's nothing wrong with that. If you've seen the video we did on that, I do like the University of Transmortars. This is obviously better presented. Obviously there's some in-depth stuff in there about the band. So then we have the first of the Malifaux encounters, which is Temptation. So the Crossroads 7 have showed up twisting the battle to the sadistic tunes. Now you're not left to defeat your opponent, but keep your sanity as well. Each player alternates placing one of the Crossroads 7, centre line. Deployment is use a random deployment, and the special is Crossroads 7 and neutral models. After each player activates a non-neutral model, one of the Crossroads 7 activates until they've all activated. Players alternate choosing which Crossroads 7 model they will activate, starting with the first player. Any player controlled model within 2 inches of a neutral Crossroads 7 model may make one interact action to fight their desires. At the end of every turn after first, any crew who performed 2 or more interact actions noted above gain a victory point. Pretty straightforward. The next scenario is Rush the Stage. Okay. It's a team game involving 4 players in 2 teams of 2 players. Each one team will consist of one of the Crossroads 7 and their bodyguards. The other will consist of the maddening crowds rushing forth to stop the hellish music that drives them insane. So this is a two teams with 2 players each. I suppose you could still play it with 2 players. You just have like 2 crews each, which might get a bit confusing. Probably better with 4. So I'll just let you read that. Those are the rules for the neutral models. I think I missed one of the encounters as well. There we go. I thought I had Blood at the Crossroads. Your crew has been brought dancing into the hungry night by mysterious travelling musicians. But not the only crew has been lured here, and a fight is brewing. Each player has 30 soulstone crew led by henchmen. Cool. and then you alternate picking the Crossroads 7 models, leaving the odd model in the middle. And place it right down centre. And then you basically fight each other with these extra models. You start at 4 victory points. Cool. So that's how that works. Those are the 3 different ones. I showed you them in the wrong order, but that's cool. So 2 normalish type missions and a 4-player variant. That's pretty cool. I was hoping for like a single player mission, a bit like in the Encounters book for the University of Mortalis, because that was a really good one, just testing different masters against the university. I was hoping for something like that, but those 3 missions are cool. And then we have the actual Through the Breach. I'm not going to go through this one too much because I don't want to spoil any stories people might have, but the rest of the book's sort of made up of the Through the Breach scenario. I've got scene 2, and I haven't actually played Through the Breach. I'd love to play Through the Breach with pride, but unfortunately I've not had a chance to play it yet. And I think at the end there's 3 characters. There's Stevie the sheriff there. And then you've got 2 of the Crossroads 7. You've got Envy and you've got Pride. There's Envy. And there's Pride. And that is basically the book you get with it. So I think that's pretty cool. I like the encounters. As I said, I'm a bit disappointed there's not a single player variant, because that would have been cool. Testing a crew against this yourself. Just like with the university. Although the 3 missions in there do look quite interesting, especially the 4-player variant. I like the sound of that. And I can't really comment on the Through the Breach thing. I haven't really read it, and I don't really want to spoil it by reading it out to you. But it does look pretty cool. I would like to play Through the Breach, but obviously I haven't had a chance, like I said. So overall, this is a great Encounters kit for Malifaux. I can say that much. The models are fantastic, as you've seen. I really like them. I'm really impressed by these models. And that's it, really. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope if you're thinking of getting it, it's helped you make your decision whether you want it or not, whether you think it'll be suitable for you. And I hope you like the video. It'd be great if you could like the video as well. And if you have, please subscribe as well, because that helps out loads. And hopefully we'll see you again soon. So you guys take care, and bye for now.